Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So if they can win here in Pittsburgh, they'd be able to claim the season sweep.
From the 29, Mills. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper.
And he is going to have a Browns first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A give running right is Chubb. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 45-yard line. Handoff comes to Chubb. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37.
This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And it's caught over the middle. Hooper.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. Taking it right down Broadway. The 20, 10, and he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that's a great play for that defensive unit. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
And Chubb fighting, but nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped short of that first down marker.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Our first carry for Najee Harris.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. From the gun, here's Keenum.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so listen.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked up by a Keller Witherspoon. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. First down throw for Mills.
Got a man. That's Rashard Higgins. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Mills now looks to throw on first down. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
A second down throw from Mills.
And he slings one that's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Mills to the air again. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Keenum to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So, Charles, here we are, Week 17. Both of these teams playing their 16th game of the regular season. And obviously for decades, that was the full season. But as we all know, a little strange, still one more game to go next week.
Yeah, Brandon, I think we're both interested to see how things play out next week because we know their division titles and wild card spots up for grabs. So those teams, no doubt, they'll be all in. But how would you like to go in front of a team that's 3-13 and say, okay, guys, one more time, let's go get them. If we win, it benefits someone else.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. Oh, a design run for their wideout.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
They hand this off to Harris. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Now, these two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, Week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
They'll run. Here's Harris. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll try the air now with Keenum. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now on 2nd and 16, Keenum. That's swung out wide to Harris.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From the red zone now, Keenum. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Throwing again on 2nd down. Keenum. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Najee Harris.
His 19th touchdown now of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 21-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mills. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time he things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions and then became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Keenum. Juju Smith-Schuster. And some space here. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to add on to their first half lead. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Working out of the gun, Mills.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll try the draw now with Chubb, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. On the give, this is Harris. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
On play action, now Keenum. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. John Johnson, and Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. They'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. But the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
That throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Off the play fake, Keenum. And it'll be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Browns make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Ray McLeod. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Harris going to get it again on second down.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Check. Hey, we're good.
And now they'll throw with Keenum. Oh, Keenum has it knocked away. It's loose. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Keenum into the secondary past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big time, John? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Play action. Now it's Keenum. He finds his target, Ebron. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now a first down carry for Harris.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Open man, completes it to Claypool. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
They fake the handoff. Now Keenum. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
122 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Second down, here's Chubb again. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And he is going to have the Browns first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Felton. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has a total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, Felton flashed the stick skills but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Felton, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Mills to throw for it on fourth. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Oh, not running. Keenum wants to throw. Going for the deep ball. It got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big connection on that one. 39 yards. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Pittsburgh, they moved to 7-9 on the year with the win.